Welcome to the homework help video, page 67, numbers 7, 8, and 11 through 22. And let's go ahead and get started here with the assignment. Have your books open to page 67, and let's take a look first of all at numbers 7 and 8. Now, first of all, obviously I cannot measure the lengths of these segments, okay? But you've been told in the directions to measure each line segment to the nearest millimeter, and of course you can use inches if you want to. So I'm not sure what you would get if you measured from A to B, okay, but whatever you got, let's just say it was 1 inch, just label that 1 inch, and then here's segment DBD, maybe that's 3/4 of an inch. If you use the millimeters, I can tell you what the answer key says. AB is 20 millimeters if you use the millimeters. BC is 27 millimeters, I can tell you that. And BD is 10 millimeters. So if you did millimeters, there's your answers. If you used inches, I'm not sure what they are. I'm not too worried about that. You guys should know about how to measure something using a ruler, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, let's go ahead and measure some angles here if at all possible. I did not mean to do that. And let's see if we can't continue this line going out. And we'll continue this ray here also going out if at all possible. Slide this down a little bit. And give me 1 second here. And there we go. Now the reason I did that is we're going to turn this thing, hopefully in just a second if we're able to. Give me just a second. Now we're trying to measure this using a protractor, okay? So let's turn this angle around. There we go. And now I'm going to grab my protractor here, and hopefully I'll be able to put it right on top. If not, I'm not sure what we're going to do here. Well, it's going to be tough to do. So I guess what we'll do is this. We will compromise. I will go like this and this, and I'll kind of copy the angle. There we go. So I have copied that pretty well. And then we're going to put our protractor right here on top of it, and it looks like we're getting a measurement of approximately, not perfectly, but about 65 degrees. No, 100. It's bigger than 90, so 90, 100, 110, about 115 degrees, students, would be acceptable, about 115 degrees. So let's grab this here, and let's pull that over in the trash, and let's take this thing and let's flip it back up. And so it's looking that this angle right here, if I can pull this back over, this angle right here is 115 degrees. Now let's find the measurement of this angle here, DBC. Okay, so let me get my tracer on here, and let's see if we can't trace this thing pretty well, I hope. That's pretty good. Let's pull this out of the way here, and let's erase this here, and did not want to do that. And let's erase this. And let's see if we can't figure this out. So here we go. Let's pull our protractor down here, put it on the angle, and let's see. It looks like it's going to go through 10, 20, 30, about 38 degrees is what I'm getting. Again, if that's not exactly right, it's not the end of the world, but I'm getting about 38 degrees right here for this angle. The answer key says 40 degrees, so we're close enough. That's fine. Okay, moving on to this problem here. First of all, looking in the answer key, OM is 10 millimeters, MN is 20 milliliters, and ML would be also 20 milliliters. Now, if you measured it with inches, then you're kind of on your own. Let me get a drink here real quick. You're kind of on your own if you used inches, but there's the millimeter measurements. And now let's go ahead and let's copy some angles here real quick if we can. Did not want to do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And here we go. Okay, let's first of all measure the angle OML. So I'm going to trace that angle like this and like that. That's not too bad. If you slide this down, that's really good actually. So we're going to measure that angle. Let's slide this out of the way. Let's pull our protractor up, and we're going to put that about right there, it looks like to me. And so we're looking at about 120, 130, 140, 140, about 146 degrees. I could be off a little bit, but that angle is approximately 146 degrees. So we're going to put that right here, 146 degrees. Now, to be honest with you, mathematically we could find this other angle very quickly because these two angles do have to add up to 180 degrees, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to copy this angle right here, and that's decently close and not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this out of the way, and I'm going to put this up here. And maybe I didn't draw it long enough, which would be a shame if I didn't, but it looks like I'm okay. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40. I'm hitting this line right here, so it looks like I'm at 35 degrees. So there we go, and did not want that to happen. There we go, and pull this out of the way. And then 35 degrees. Okay, and now let's go ahead and do some more problems. Let's look at numbers 11 through 16. The directions say K is between J and M. Let's get a really long segment here going. There we go. Okay, K is between J and M, so here's J, here's M, here's K. K is between J and M. L is between K and M. Now, when it says between, it does mean that they're on the same line, but it doesn't mean that K is right in the middle. Okay, K could be over here somewhere, but it is between J and M. L is between K and M, so I'm going to put L right here between K and M. M is between K and N. Now, I've not seen N anywhere yet, so hold on one second here. Okay, I'm back. It says M is between K and N, so M has to be between K, so that means N has to be over here somewhere. Okay, now JN is 14, so the whole length is 14 all the way across. KM, so from here, I'm going to draw it like this, students, to help us see it. From K here over to M, KM is 4. J all the way to N is 14. And of course, if my drawing is not drawn to scale, that is no big deal at all, okay? We don't care about that. And I'm going to use tick marks here. It says that JK right here is congruent to KL is congruent to LM. So please don't forget that. So even though it doesn't look like it, the distance from J to K is the same as the distance from K to L is the same as the distance from L to M. We need to remember that, okay? Now let me go ahead and copy this and save this so we have this for the other pages. And here we go. Okay, they want us to find JK. Now let's think about this for a second. Let's be really careful, okay, students? First of all, if KM, now watch this, students, please. If from K all the way to M is 4, then that means, and notice that KL from here to here is congruent to the distance from here to here. Well, if all the way from K to M is 4, then that means from K to L we have 2, and from L to M we have a 2, and also from J to K, even though it doesn't look like it, that's also going to be a 2. Okay, listen again. JK is congruent to KL is congruent to LM, even though it doesn't look like it. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm not at all embarrassed of this drawing, because in geometry it's good to not draw things to scale sometimes so that you're not using the drawing to help you, but just the mathematical evidence or principles that you have. Okay, so that's actually a good thing. All right, let's continue on. Number 12. And here we go. We already decided the distance from K to L is 2, and from L to M is 2, and from J to K is 2. And now they want us to find the distance from M to N. Now think about it, students. We know from J all the way over to N, this whole distance going across is how much? 14. We know that. So it only makes sense that if we add up all of the segments going across, they're going to have to add up to 14. So from here to here is 2. From here to here is 2. From here to here is 2. That's 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So this length here has to be 8, because 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8 is 14. So the length of MN has to be 8. All right, let's take a look at number 13. The length of LJ. Well, students, that should really be pretty simple, because we know the distance from J to K is 2, and from K to L is 2, and from L to M is 2. And what they're asking us to find is the distance of LJ. So here's L all the way over to J. Well, from L to K, we have a length of 2, and from K to J, we have a length of 2. So the distance from L to J all the way over has to be 4, 2 plus 2. Okay, number 14. They want us to find the length of KN. Okay, again, it shouldn't be too difficult. Let's go back a couple pages. Remember earlier we found out the length of MN is 8. Okay, so we know this length here from J to K is 2. We know the length from K to L is 2. We know the length from L to M is 2. And we know the length from M to N is 8. And now we're being asked to find the length of KN. So starting from K right here, all the way over to N. So we want this whole distance right here from K to N. So it looks like to me, we're just going to say from K to L is 2, from L to M is 2, from M to N is 8. So 2 plus 2 plus 8 is 12. So the whole length of K to N would be 12. All right, let's take a look at number 15. Okay, let's find the distance of MJ. Now we know from J to K is 2, from K to L is 2, from L to M is 2, from M to N is 8. We're going to find the length of MJ. So from M right here all the way over to J. In other words, this whole distance right here. So we're looking at 2 plus 2 plus 2. So the measurement of MJ, or JM for that matter, would be 6. Number 15 is 6. And lastly, number 16. Let's see, we know from J to K is 2, from K to L is 2, from L to M is 2, from M to N is 8. And we are being asked to find the distance of NL. So from N all the way over to L. So this whole distance right here, okay? From L over to N. Well, from L to M is 2, and from M to N is 8. So 2 plus 8 would be 10. So the measurement or the length of LN or NL would be 10. Okay? All right, let me get a drink here and our last 6 problems, and we're finished, okay? All right, here we go. It looks like we have an angle here, AOC. I'm going to write it pretty big here so we have plenty of room. So I'm going to draw it like this and like this, just to make sure we have plenty of room. And go like this, I believe. I'm going to slide down a little bigger. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and call this angle AOC. So AOC. Now let's read the directions carefully. B is in the interior of AOC. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another ray. And I'm going to put B on it, okay? Like this. And that's good. B is in the interior of AOC, and B is in the interior of AOC. Very good. And then next it says C is in the interior of angle BOD. So let's see here. C is in the interior of angle BOD. So I don't have a D anywhere, but I know this. Please look carefully, students. C is in the interior of BOD. So C is going to be in the interior. So I'm going to draw D like this. Okay. And I'll put a D right here. I'll see if this makes sense. Watch. Is C in the interior of BOD? Yes, it is. C is in the interior of BOD. Now, D is in the interior of COE. So here's C, here's O, and now I've got to draw an E. And we'll put that right here. And let's see if that makes sense. Here's what it says. It says D is in the interior of COE. And that's right. Here's D right here, and it's in the interior of COE. So everything is good. Let me get a drink here real quick, and then we'll label some numbers, okay? Angle AOE is 175 degrees. So here's A, here's O, and here's E. So I'm going to go ahead and put 175 degrees right here. COE is 110. So COE is 110. So be careful here. I'm going to put a big red line all the way across and put 110 for that whole angle, okay? Angle AOB, I'm going to put 2 marks. 1, 2. Angle AOB equals COD. So here's COD. I'm going to put 2 marks right here. Equals DOE. Here's DOE. So put 2 marks here. Okay. Now let me show you what I just did. Please, students, look. Angle AOB equals COD equals DOE. So I set angle AOB. I put 2 slashes, and I put 2 slashes for angle COD, and I also put 2 slashes for EOD, because all 3 of those angles, angle AOB, angle COD, and angle DOE, are all congruent. They're all equal. Now, can I ask you guys a question, please, students? Would you think about this? Please watch this carefully and listen to me. If this whole angle from here all the way to here is 110 degrees, this angle right here is 110 degrees. Do you see that okay? If you'll look carefully, that 110 degrees is split up into 2 angles. An angle here with 1 dot and an angle over here with 1 dot. Do you notice both of those angles have 2 green slash marks? That means those 2 angles are congruent. So think about that. If those 2 angles are congruent, then instead of putting 110 degrees right here, I think it would be more helpful if I just put 55 degrees here and 55 degrees here, because 55 plus 55 is 110, and I know these 2 angles here are congruent. And by the way, this angle right over here also has 2 green slash marks, so it's also going to be 55 degrees, okay? And with that in mind, let me very quickly copy this diagram so we can use it for the other 5 problems. And here we go. Okay, our first question is, find the measure of angle DOE. Okay, here we go. Here's D, here's O, and here's E. So we want to find this red angle right here. Well, that's easy, 55 degrees. So there we go. Moving on to number 18. They want us to find the measure of angle BOC. All right, well, here's B. And then we're going to go over to O, and then to C. Question mark. Well, students, think about this. If you start here and you go in a complete circle like this, isn't that 360 degrees? I mean, think about it. Anytime you stand here, if you're standing somewhere and you turn a complete circle, I mean, you go all the way around in a complete circle, that's 360 degrees, correct? So, if I'm starting here and I'm going all the way back around to here, that's 360 degrees. So, I know this angle right here is 55. I know this angle here's 175. I know this angle is 55. And I know this angle here is 55. So if I add all of those up, I get 20, carry my 2, 14, 19, 24, carry my 2, 340 degrees. So if all of these four known angles, 1, 2, 3, 4, add up to 340, and I need 360 to go all the way around, then this missing angle right here must be 20 degrees. All right. Now I might have added incorrect. Let me check my work again real quick, because the book is saying 10 degrees. So hold on one second. 27, 14, 24, 5, 10, 15, 25, 5, 10, 15. Let's see. 175, 55, 55, 55. Let's see. Find the measure of angle BOC. Okay, students, I'm back, and I'm probably going to look pretty dumb on this, but I have checked and rechecked my work, and so maybe some of you can contact me on where I'm making my mistake, but I'm still getting 20 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and say that there's a mistake in the book, and I'm probably wrong, but 18 is going to be 20 degrees, okay? Moving on to number 19, they want us to find the measurement of angle AOB. So here's A, and then down to O, and then up to B, okay? Angle AOB, well, we've already found that, and it was 55 degrees, okay? So the answer to number 19 would be 55 degrees. Moving on to number 20. Number 20, they want us to find the measurement of angle DOB. So here's D, up to O, and then up to B. So this angle right here. Now, a couple problems ago, we found this angle right here to be 20 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and put 20 degrees right here. So if I want to find the measurement of this angle here, all that I have to do is take this angle here with one dot, which is 55 degrees, and this angle here with two dots, which is 20 degrees, and add those two together, and I will get the correct answer, which is 75 degrees. Okay? Moving on to number 21. Number 21, they want us to find the measurement of angle DOA. So here's D, and then we hit O, and then A. Okay, so DOA, so this measurement right here. Okay, DOA. Well, if you'll look carefully, students, this angle right here is made up of two angles. This angle here with 55. Now I wonder, the only thing is there are two different angles. Yeah, they're wanting the other angle. And the reason I know that, by the way, students, is remember, listen to me carefully. In geometry, angles have to range from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. So if they were looking for this angle from here to here, that would be this angle here and this angle here. If you add those together, you're going to get more than 180 degrees. So that cannot be the angle they're referring to. So angle DOA must be DOA. It must be from here to here, okay? Angle DOA from here to here. So we have this angle here with one dot, we have this angle here with two dots, and we have this angle here with three dots. Now we said earlier this is 20 degrees, so we have 55 plus 55, which is 110, plus 20 more would be 130 degrees. And so this is going to be 130 degrees. And then number 22, they want us to find the angle of AOC, okay? So A, down to O, and then over to C. So we take this angle here with one dot and this angle here with two dots, And remember earlier we found out this is 20 degrees. And if you add those two together, you will get 75 degrees. Okay? I really hope this homework help video has been a help to you. Call or email if you have any questions.